After Hollow Knight's soundtrack was so fantastic, we were certain that since Silksong would have the same composer, its soundtrack would be just as superb, and we were right. All 53 tracks are good, but some stand out to me more than others. It was hard to pick just 10 favorites, but I did so, and I'll be counting them down in this video. Number 10, Lace. This song's namesake is a feisty combatant, and her theme's tempo embodies that aspect of her personality and fighting style. The melody moves up and down the same way Lace jumps into the air and then dives back down. It's just as fast and intense as other boss themes in the game, with a feeling of urgency that encourages the listener to stay alert during the battle. Number 9, Scar Singer Carmelita. With Carmelita's voice being lore relevant, they picked the right person to voice her. The vocals serve as a guide for the rest of the instruments, and their absence is felt when Carmelita gets staggered during battle and briefly stops singing as a result. The song definitely feels like both a battle and a performance, with this Queen Ant effortlessly singing and dancing while she fights. Number 8, Strive. This is my favorite of the recurring combat themes in the game, and I wish it appeared as often as Incisive Battle and Cut Through, but I digress. The strings section really just went all out on this track, and it works well as the score for the game's first boss fight to give the player an idea of what to expect from the game's combat going forward. It also highlights Hornet's unmistakable fighting spirit. Number 7, Choral Chambers. I certainly don't mind that this song plays in the game's biggest area. The choir vocals are elegant without being overwhelming, and they periodically take a break to let the equally graceful piano, strings, and woodwinds have their moment on the track. That's because it's just as much about the location as it is that place's purpose and inhabitants, not just the choir, but the chambers themselves. Number 6, Lost Verdania. Combined with the visual design, this music makes Verdania feel like a wonderland out of a fairy tale. It's nice and slow to incentivize taking in one's surroundings, with a twinge of sadness that reminds us of the fact that this splendor now exists only in memory. The instruments, including xylophone, piano, vocals, strings, and flute, each get to have a spotlight for at least part of the song. Number 5, Songclave. I understand the decision to reuse this song as the end credits theme for all but Sister of the Void. It fits that role equally well as it does the eponymous setting's background music. It carries a mood of things coming together, yet there's still being room for more. Just as Farloom's pilgrims have somewhere they can be safe for the time being, though the kingdom still needs saved. Number 4, Bellheart. You have to appreciate the inclusion of bell sounds as the foundation of this song, with the piano and strings following their lead in all the right ways. The bells make this song stand out from the rest of the soundtrack, just as Bellheart stands out from the rest of Farloom. The music sounds grand, but also peaceful, perfect for a town of impressive architecture whose purpose is being a place of rest. Number 3, Moss Grotto. This song picks up right where Green Path left off, acting as something of an auditory description of the natural marvels that the player finds themselves in the midst of. Both the area itself and its music were an apt choice for the first of the game, making the player want to explore not only to find answers, but for its own sake. With all this just the beginning for what's to come. Number 2, Cogwork Core. Not only is the ticking sound in the background keeping time, it's also diegetic. So is the music box. Even though the strings don't fit that role, they still support the other elements, so it all culminates into a complete piece. The track itself is very loopable, flowing seamlessly just like clockwork, while driving the player through their journey across the Cogwork Core. Before I get to number 1, a few honorable mentions. In no particular order, these are Bell Beast, Bone Bottom, Bilewater, Red Maiden, Cogwork Dancers, and Last Dive. Number 1, Lost Lace. The conclusion to such a long soundtrack and such an epic narrative had some big shoes to fill, but this song absolutely delivers on every front. The track is not only my favorite from Silksong, but one of my favorite boss themes of all time. It's beautifully cinematic, perfectly encapsulating this final battle built of both desperation and determination. I wish I could come up with more to say, but I don't think I really have to. The music speaks for itself. What do you think of my list? Which songs from Silksong are your favorites and why? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching this video. There's so much to talk about with this game, and I plan to continue doing just that on this channel. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.